WrestleLogic, the kickoff, the first video ever, and what better way to do it than with some WrestleMania 34 predictions. I'm Paul, and always with me is Chris Steele, and we're here to be telling you what we think is going to happen at WWE WrestleMania 34. So jacked for this. So jacked for this. I think it's going to be a fantastic, what a card. This is such a absolutely loaded card for WrestleMania.
Now I hear this is 7 hours. Am I mistaken?
That's funny, because I heard 8. I heard it could be an 8-hour show, depending on how things go. But if you're wondering, crazy background going on here, we are at Island City Brewing Company. Special shout out and thank you to them for letting us use their space to shoot this video.
Cheers.
And providing some healthy refreshments as well while we do our video.
Paul, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking the Prairie Island Pale Ale, and it's delicious. It's the real deal.
It is, like me. And I got the Dock Cider, 8% alcohol, so if you're looking to get a little, this is the one.
This is the way to do it. I'm a local radio personality, former car salesman, but yeah, I'm just a lover of wrestling. I love everything wrestling. Indie wrestling is fantastic. I know someone that knows a little bit about that as well. So that's why I'm here. I love wrestling, and I love to share it with other people.
Yeah, and I'm Chris Steele, as you heard, the real deal, Mr. Sex Appeal. I wrestle up in the Midwest here in mainly Minnesota. I've been doing it for the greater half of 5 years now, going on 6 eventually here. I had a couple titles here in the local town. That's how I met up with Paul here. Paul is the guy that reads the dirt sheets, and I am the guy who does the performing, and I don't really read the dirt sheets. I don't have enough time hardly in my day to read that kind of stuff. So he's the guy with the knowledge.
I know everything.
And I'm the guy who's going to make the predictions, probably like an idiot, of how I think it's going to go based off of my experience.
So he's going first on all of these. All right, so we have the Women's Battle Royal on the kickoff show. Ladies first. Who do you got and why?
First of all, who's in it?
Well, I know that Sasha Banks is in it. Becky Lynch is in it. The Riot Squad, Ruby Riot, and Mandy Rose. I'm trying to think of who else is officially in it. A lot of other names. Natalia's in it.
Okay.
And
right.
But it's open to SmackDown. It's open to Raw, and the curveball, it's open to NXT too.
I still think someone's going to make a surprise. It's the same as when they had the Women's Battle Royal. Look who came out. You know, they
all came back.
They all came back.
Michelle McCool, Trish Stratus showed up. I mean, that's why these battle royals are tough. So here's what I was thinking we should do. Who do you want to win, but who do you think is going to win?
Based off of looks?
Based on whatever you want. Because I've got my want, but I've also got my who I think is actually going to win this.
Oh, man. Well, seeing that there's already a couple girls that'll be in title matches, I guess we can't go with that route. Going off of history, I think Lita's going to be in it, but I don't think she's going to win. I would have to say I'm going to go with, and I always liked her because she's always done a great job in the ring, and that'd be Natalya. Now, I might be shooting for the stars here on this one, but I've always liked, she's been loyal, she's always there, but I just feel like they don't ever give her the time of day, and I really wish they would because I think she's a hard worker.
I would agree. So that's who you want or you think is going to win?
That's what I want. We're going to go with want.
Okay. And so for who I want to win, because she's my girlfriend, she just doesn't know it yet, Becky Lynch. I've got Becky Lynch all the way. I'm very Irish. She is Irish. So she's my pick for who I want to win. I think that ever since she lost the SmackDown title, she's kind of gotten the shaft. But I feel like there's been a little hinting of giving her a push again. I think this might be the start of it.
All right. Now, who I think will win, I'm going with Bayley. Bayley's in it, right?
Yep, that's right. Bayley's in it.
I
Bayley.
see they're trying to do a little something with her. I don't know if they're trying to make her heel or what's the situation. I haven't seen much of the weekly shows, so that might be something more you can inform us on.
Well, my thought on, because there's the whole Sasha Banks, Bayley headbutting going on right now.
Okay.
So I think that when it comes to Bayley and Sasha, that they're going to end up eliminating each other.
Okay.
And I think that's going to be like the culmination of then at, down the road at Backlash or something, there's going to be the big Bayley versus Sasha Banks.
All right.
But for who I think is going to win, I'm going with the curveball on this.
Okay.
I think it's going to be the opportunity to start pushing an NXT superstar. I think someone in NXT is going to come out on top, whether it's Peyton Royce or realistically, I think this might be the opportunity for Ember Moon to finally make it onto the main roster. I feel like she's going to lose her title at NXT TakeOver Saturday night, and then this is going to be her main roster debut. And she's going to come out for the Women's Battle Royal. Everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, it's Ember Moon! And then she's going to win the whole thing. And this is going to be her first big push.
Your guess is probably better than mine.
That's what I think. No, like I said, I want Becky Lynch, but I think that it's going to be an NXT superstar.
Okay, very good.
All right. So moving on to the men's.
Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I love this every year. The only thing I don't like about it is I feel like everyone that wins it, it's more of a curse than it is a blessing.
So it's like the Madden cover, essentially.
Yes, it is. It's the Madden cover of the WWE. Because look at the people who won. Baron Corbin.
Okay.
Not really gone anywhere.
Yep. Right.
Cesaro now is starting to go somewhere, but he won it 4 years ago. It's taken like 4 years. And then you have Mojo Rawley won it last year. And what has he done? Nothing.
Man,
Okay. But at the same time, I don't know. There's a lot of rumors flying around about this. So this is going to be I think going to be the toughest match to predict.
Okay.
So who do you have and why?
Oh man, I really hope, and just because I like him, I hope Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder. It's like Mojo Rawley, nobody expected him to win, but then all of a sudden they had Gronk come out of the crowd and then he helped them win and whatnot.
Yep.
But Zack Ryder's been kind of flying under the radar, as you could say, from the longest time now, and I know the fans love him. That would be who I would want, and I know it's not who's probably going to win, but that's who I want, and that's who I think is going to win.
Okay. Who I want to win this, he's still one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, and I just feel like he's gotten the shaft, but apparently he's making bank right now, so he probably doesn't care. Dolph Ziggler. That's who I would want to win this.
I know, that would be cool,
I just don't think that they're going to give that to him. I just don't. I would love to see Dolph Ziggler come out on top on something big like this, but I just don't think that that's what's going to happen. What I think is going to happen is that we're going to get some returns. There are so many people that have been cleared to come back, and I think that this is the time. So I think that this is going to be Big Cass's moment. I think Big Cass is going to come back.
Injured, wasn't he?
Yes, with that ACL tear. He's been cleared. He's been at the Performance Center and he's been completely cleared. So I think this is going to be his big return, and he's going to win it all. I think, and then he's finally going to get his main push. Because he was supposed to be getting it before the ACL tear, so I think this is going to be their way of like kind of hitting the reset button and then redoing it again.
You know who else? Who else isn't doing anything? And I don't know him real personal, but he trained where I was at in Atlanta, and that was Apollo Crews. Now I would love to see him win just because I somewhat know him. I think it'd be great. He trained at the WWA 4 down in Atlanta, Georgia, with me. He's like 5 years ahead of me, and then look at where he's at. But that would be who I'd really want to see to win. I just don't think he will, but that'd be awesome. I'd pop for that.
Titus Worldwide, baby. All right. So still not even off the kickoff show yet because there's a lot to be happening there. I think that this is going to be the best kickoff show they've had in a long time. 2 Battle Royals, and then next we have the Cruiserweight, the vacant Cruiserweight Championship. Now the Cruiserweights, the whole thing with Enzo Amore, he got fired because of goings-ons, which still haven't been proven yet. So whatever, Enzo. But so the tournament, they had Drake Maverick or Rockstar Spud. Now Drake Maverick is now the new GM of 205 Live, and I think he's done fantastic things. There's an edge to 205 Live that they've never had before.
Right.
I always felt like 205 was kind of a joke. Sorry, I know, I'm sorry, but I just felt like it was kind of no one really cared about it. But then Triple H took over. Drake Maverick showed up.
Well, it's like what Triple H did with NXT. Look at that.
Absolutely.
Now it's become its own thing. Like the day before, they have it at the arena. But it's not as big, but it's pretty darn big. If you ask me.
Absolutely. And so I think that whoever wins this match, it's a win for 205 Live.
Right.
Because it's been so good seeing this, and it's two faces too. That's the other thing, is like to have this big championship and it's two faces. I think they're really having. It's gutsy. It's really gutsy because
it's a tough match. As a performer, it's a tough one. You gotta tell a story, and it's hard when you don't have someone that's trying to get the crowd to hate you. So when you're trying to make the best match out of two faces, it's a tough story to tell, and you won't know that, Paul, because you haven't been in that situation. But you have to still tell the story. And I've seen Cedric Alexander work in the PWX down in North Carolina is where I saw him at. He did a fantastic job. And then the match I saw him against was against Caleb Conley. And that was a great match I saw. I don't even know who Mustafa is, but I'm going with Cedric Alexander because I know the performer he is. I've seen his work, obviously, on WWE. It's obviously they kind of scale him back a little bit when they get up to that level. You got to prevent injuries, but I've seen him work on the indies. And I know that his work ethic is good, so I am going with Cedric Alexander. No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't even know who Mustafa Ali is. Apologize if I offend anybody for not knowing that, but I don't know him.
All right. Well, I also have Cedric Alexander. I have Cedric Alexander because I feel like he was supposed to be getting a push. I feel like he was going to beat Enzo Amore back when they were having their little feud before everything happened. And I think this is now just creating that much more of a build. Like, so now it's not just I beat the person that everyone hated. Now it's I conquered everybody in the division, and now so it's making it, yay, someone took it off of Enzo, to holy crap, you just won an entire tournament. I mean, look what happened with the Cruiserweight Classic. It was huge. It's basically like they redid the Cruiserweight Classic in 205 Live, which I thought was genius, so Triple H, nicely done. But that's why I have Cedric. I think that he was supposed to have his push, lost out on it because of the whole Enzo fiasco, and now it's his time. Now is his time.
You know what's crazy about this is they brought 205 Live in, and it was almost like it was an independent show. And now look they've got a match at WrestleMania. You're still performing at WrestleMania.
That's very true.
And this is basically almost an independent show, is essentially what this was to begin with. And now these guys are performing in front of however many thousand people they can cram into the Superdome again.
If you're Hulk Hogan, the Silver Dome.
Well, it could be whatever you want to be.
Sorry,
It's
Hulk.
silver, right?
You're never going to live that one down. No, but look at last year. I mean, Neville and Austin Aries, that was on the kickoff. That almost stole the show.
Right, yeah. Now, do you think that if Cedric Alexander wins, do you think he's going to drop it and then move to like the Raw roster and not be a 205 Live guy?
No, I think he's going to stay on 205 Live. I think with the direction that 205 Live is going, it's worth being on that show now.
All right.
My question is that they might save it for the Raw after WrestleMania, but I know there's been pinch of salt rumors flying around that Neville is finally going to be coming back.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if it's going to be back to 205 Live now that Enzo is gone, now that there's a better direction, or if they're going to give him Now, I personally would love to see him on a main roster push, SmackDown. I think he'd be great on SmackDown. But now that things are a little more lucrative for people on 205 Live, he might come back. Okay. This could be an opportunity for him to come back, or the Raw after could be an opportunity. We'll have to see what happens. It's WrestleMania. Anything goes.
I know. Well, we saw last year the Hardy Boys came back, right? That was huge.
Oh.
All right, now we're at the Elias performance. Now, like you, Paul, I sometimes get on the dirt sheets, so I don't think he's the only guy doing this. I think, my prediction, The Rock is coming at this spot, and he is going to put on a rock concert, as he used to call it, and he's going to hit Elias with a guitar of his, all right? That's my prediction. I'm going with it. I thought about this all day.
Okay.
The Rock. And I heard that there's rumors of The Rock possibly being there, and it wouldn't even hardly be a WrestleMania without The Rock there. He's got to show up somewhere, I would think.
Yep.
Hit Elias with a guitar of his own. That's the way I'm going.
Boom. I am, it's funny. Up until you said that, I wouldn't have gone that route, but I think you're right. There's only one other sliver of a thought that I have on what might happen with Elias, and that would be him turning out to be Braun Strowman's tag team partner. However, I have someone else in mind now for that. Okay. So I am going to think that you're probably correct, and this would be a perfect opportunity. I mean, well, look at Raw 25. Same thing. Elias got humiliated by Chris Jericho.
Okay.
So it's kind of turning into that thing. It's that almost, that's like his shtick, is that a big superstar kind of makes him look bad, but at the same time, it almost builds him up at the same time.
Right.
Because, I mean, look at where Elias has come in the last year. He showed up at I believe it was the Raw after WrestleMania. And it was simply just walking by, his drifter thing,
Right.
back when he was in NXT. And now, I mean, look at him now. He was in the Elimination Chamber. He's beaten John Cena basically clean. I mean, he's getting a push. And,
Yeah, they're pushing him.
And duking it out with The Rock, whether he gets squashed or not, that's still going to be something.
Puts you on the map.
Exactly. So I'm thinking that you're not too far off the mark there.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on then.
I have up next the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
All
We
right.
have the defending Usos against the New Day, which is always a crapshoot because of that Freebird law, so you don't know who's going to be actually wrestling for them. And the Bludgeon Brothers. Who do you have and why?
Okay, going off of how this card's going, I'm going off the logic of how we book shows in the independents. Now, you want to bring it up, down, back up, a little bit down, then you shoot off at the end. All right. So now that The Rock's come out in my book, what has to happen is it has to go down, and it seems like Vince or whoever is putting this together always has a thing for the Usos. Going with the Usos, my final answer. Usos are keeping their titles.
Retaining. All right.
I just don't see I don't even know, Budogan?
Bludgeon.
See?
The Bludgeon Brothers. Speaking of the Bludgeon Brothers, I have the Bludgeon Brothers. I think that the Usos have held the titles long enough. I think there has been, 2017 was basically Usos New Day back and forth with the titles. That's all it was. I think it's time for them to finally relinquish those titles in the form of getting absolutely decimated by the Bludgeon Brothers.
Okay.
I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to kind of team up at first, the New Day and the Usos, to try and cut down the Bludgeon Brothers. Then they're going to duke it out after they think that they've done away with them. Then the Bludgeon Brothers are going to make this big comeback, crush them all, and then win. And then I think what's going to happen long term, they're going to hold them for a really long time. And then someone's going to come up from NXT, like the Authors of Pain or War Machine, and that is going to be what's finally going to dethrone the Bludgeon Brothers as another big, massive, crushing team.
Okay.
So, but that's what I think. And personally, I love the Bludgeon Brothers. I think their bit is fantastic. I love it. When I saw them live in lacrosse, they were so even live, they're just so much more impressive because they are huge. Plus, Eric Rowan from Minnesota actually trained in Minneapolis.
Dang, you want to go with the hometown guy, but I still got to stick with the Usos.
All right, that's
Seems
cool.
like they're loved. They're always there, and whether they're good, bad, heel, face, whatever you want to call it, they always get the win.
Remember, this is not the official order. No one ever knows.
It's official in my mind.
Okay, all right. Because you never know what the order is going to be.
Most likely, you're right though, because there wouldn't be two tag titles.
No. And then there's the rumor that Stephanie and Triple H are going to toot their own horns and put themselves as the main event.
Ooh,
which
for
their sake, I hope they don't. But that's down the road. We haven't gotten there yet.
All right.
All right. Up next, we have the Raw tag titles. We have DeBar. We have DeBar, Cesaro, and Sheamus taking on Braun Strowman and.
Oh yeah, who's gonna show up? Well, who I want to win is Braun by himself. What I think is going to happen, Chris Jericho's coming back because I heard he might be done with his tour with Fozzy. I don't know. Is that a rumor? I don't know. I'm going with Braun by himself because first of all, I don't know if it's ever been done before, has it?
I don't think it has. No.
And they're trying to build him as the monster. So if you're trying to build a guy as a monster, what better way than for him to take both titles by himself, beating two guys. And not only that, it's Cesaro and Sheamus. It's not like it's 205 Live guys where he's just throwing them around. These are two big guys. Yeah. Sheamus is huge. He has a big track record of going against Cena and beating him back in the day. Cesaro, one of my favorite guys, I think should be pushed up in the top, like to main event status. That's another one of those strong guys. I think Cesaro's going to pick up Braun Strowman in some sort of fashion for a move, whatever it might be.
Can you imagine Braun Strowman being given the big swing from Cesaro?
I don't doubt that that's going to be tried.
I think that's going to happen. Or at least, he's going to try.
Right. But
he's going to try.
I think what makes the most sense, if you're trying to build a monster, having him go by himself over. But if you want a surprise entrant, like you said, this is where you throw in the Hardy Boy type thing from last year. You throw in someone that they're not expecting, because I wasn't expecting that. I watched the WWE Network, and I saw that nobody knew about this really besides a few people, because they had him in a bus. But if I had to guess someone coming back, Chris Jericho.
Okay.
To me, Chris Jericho is one of the best performers ever in whatever role he's given. Helps out every single member that he ever works with. He always puts them over, does what the job is that he needs to do in order to build someone's status up, because he knows his role now, and he's great at it.
Know your role.
Shut your mouth.
Exactly. All right. I also have Braun, but I have two thoughts on this. I figure they're either going to go small or they're going to go big. And I mean that literally. Because I think that less likely to happen, Rey Mysterio. Because there's been rumors of him coming back too. And talk about David and Goliath on the same team. I mean, it's Team Little Big all over again, just not with Alexa Bliss. It's Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
However, what I really think is going to happen, it's a big show. I think they're going to go big. I think they're going to make this ginormous team of monsters that are just going to basically crush Sheamus and Cesaro. I mean, Sheamus and Cesaro have basically owned those titles for most of 2017, and they have gone through everyone else in the division, so why not just bring two huge guys in to just decimate them? Right. So another opportunity for the Big Show to come back, also been cleared, shot down all the retirement rumors. He said, I'm not retiring. He actually stated in a podcast last week that he actually signed an entirely new long-term deal with the WWE. And I think this is his opportunity to come back and do something big.
Or is he going in the Andre the Giant Memorial?
You know, it's a possibility too, but he won that already. He's been there, done that.
Twice?
Been there, done that.
Okay. All right.
I think he's gonna team up with Braun. I think it's gonna be an interesting juxtaposition since he was, exited by Braun by getting thrown through the cage. And it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek to bring him back and have him team up with the guy who almost retired him. So.
Perfect.
All right. Now we're into the ladies. So we have the Women's SmackDown. We've got big match. I think this has the opportunity to steal the show. I do. Asuka and her undefeated streak versus the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
So this undefeated streak by Asuka? I didn't know that, but I still, with my prediction, and because I like her, I like Charlotte. I like Charlotte.
Oh, I love Charlotte. I do.
She does a great job. I know a lot of people hate on her. I don't know. She has proved herself over and over again that, she may have the name from Ric Flair's daughter, and that's great and all, but you still have to perform, and you still have to prove yourself. I mean, I watched him in that Hell in a Cell match. I mean, holy cow, I've never seen girls perform like that hardcore style. So I'm going with Charlotte.
Insane. That was insane.
I know, and I'm going with Charlotte retaining her title. I know Asuka is the favorite, but you're going to see down the line here as we get going why I'm not picking her. But I'm going to go with Charlotte on this one. I think she's a great performer. She keeps doing her job day in and day out. A great look. So I got to go with Charlotte on this one.
Okay. I am going the opposite direction. I think Asuka is going to win the title. I think it's too soon for her on the main roster for the streak to be broken. She hasn't been on the roster long enough, I don't think. I think that she's going to win it, and she's going to hold it till the next Mania, and then there's going to be some big thing, whether it's with Ronda Rousey or something like that. Because if she wins the title, then she's SmackDown. Yeah. So then she'll be on the SmackDown. She'll be separate from Ronda, so they'll be on different brands all year.
Man, you're thinking way in the future.
Oh, you gotta. It's like chess. You got to think one step ahead. But I just feel like this is a perfect opportunity. And then she's undefeated for another whole year. And then all of a sudden Ronda or maybe another NXT person comes up, in the meantime, and finally breaks the streak at Mania next year.
It's the next Undertaker. Undefeated streak for a woman.
Oh, gosh. It is. But that's why I have Asuka. I think there's some long-term plans here. That's what I see happening.
All right. Perfect.
All right, up next we have Women's Raw Championship. We've got the friends that are no longer friends. We got Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Who do you got and why?
Oh, man. I like Alexa Bliss, and I know a lot of girls, they just, they can't stand her. I don't know why. And I've seen her background. She used to be a powerlifter.
Yes, she was.
So that's impressive. I don't know how tall she is. I know she's not very tall. Still impressive. And Nia, she's
the Braun Strowman of the women's
right.
division.
This is the David and Goliath of the women's match right here. We're talking. So, I still want to go with Alexa. Paul? I don't know. But I got Charlotte winning, and she's like, oh man, I'm going Nia then. I got to go with Nia because if you have Charlotte winning as a heel, then you got to go with Nia as the face for the girls.
Well, Charlotte's technically a face right now, but
yeah, but not when you're going against.
That's true. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I got you because someone's got to be. Yeah.
Someone's got to be the dick.
Yeah, that's
she's
true.
She's going to be it, and Charlotte's going to be the dick of that one. She's going to be the heel of that one. So I'm going to have Nia because Alexa has had the title for quite some time.
Yes, she has.
And she's I'm sorry to say this, ladies, if you don't like her, guys, if you don't like her, I think she's doing a great job. She's improved her mic skills. I saw something on a website talking about Ronda's mic skills, and she was talking about how she had to improve on her mic skills from day one, and she was so scared and embarrassed of what she sounded like or was acting like. But you know what? She's come this far, and they obviously see something in her. The WWE just doesn't push anybody. They try to push who they think is going to actually do a good job. Alexa's done a great job. I think she's held it for a long time. I like her. I hope she wins, but I think they're going with Nia.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree. I think it's Nia's time. I think she's had so many, false pushes. Like, she gets somewhere and then she gets, pushed down. She gets somewhere and then she gets pushed down. And as much as I also enjoy Alexa Bliss's character, I think she is fantastic. I think that she is one of the best heels in the company right now, and she pushes it so well. I'm getting a little iffy with they're going with the fat shaming thing now, which I'm kind of like, that's a little. You're getting a little juvenile with it, but I understand why they're doing it.
You know what I read though on her, and correct me if I'm wrong, that she was a plus size model. Am I wrong with that?
Nia Jax?
Yeah,
she was, and you know that she's also The Rock's cousin, right?
Right, I knew that one.
Okay, you didn't know that. Okay,
and I think she also plays in college basketball.
Yeah, I think she did.
So she's athletic.
Yep.
Clearly, modeling saw something in her. You know what? You still, when it comes to wrestling, you could have the cutest person, and you can make them as ugly as you want them because that is their role, that is their gimmick, that's their character, whatever the heck you want to call it. That's just how it is. Mm-hmm. All right. So I mean, you can do whatever, you can say whatever you want about these performers, but they are world-class athletes, as far as I'm concerned, because I know what goes into it, and some people don't understand what goes into that.
Look at these pythons.
Well, we're covered up today, Paul. I didn't want. They said I couldn't bring guns in here, so I didn't bring them.
All right.
Covered
all right. Yeah, cream of the crop rise into the top right here. Okay,
hey, it's carry and conceal. Concealed, carrying.
All right, so we both taken Nia for the Women's Raw. Perfect.
Right.
U.S. title championship, and what a curveball this has had. I mean, it was supposed to be
the one.
It was supposed to be Bobby Roode and Randy Orton.
No, you know what it was supposed to be, Paul? It was supposed to be you versus Rusev. As far as I'm concerned.
Rusev never had the U.S. title.
I trained you. I
know. Rusev wouldn't even respond.
If you're watching this, and I damn well you better be, you should be facing this guy. I trained him. Heck, you could take both of us on if you think you're so tough. All right? I don't care, but I still, I'm going with Rusev on this one.
I also am going with Rusev. I mean,
you were.
They threw gender into the mix, and as much as I love Bobby Roode, I just don't think that they're going to put it back on him. Randy has been rumored to be taking time off after Mania, so I know he's dropping the title. I don't think they're going to push Jinder again. I just don't. He had a very ineffective championship reign, so I don't think they're going to put another strap on him. I think they're at the point where they're realizing how over Rusev is. It's another Daniel Bryan story.
It's another Rock story, as far as I'm concerned. It's another John Cena story.
They got themselves over.
Yeah,
I mean they did
by being a good heel. If that's how you get over. Look at The Rock. What did he do? He made fun of everybody. Nation of Domination. He was making fun of everybody. Comes out, calls people jabronis. Whatever you got to do. But then eventually, all of a sudden, everyone loves him. It's the same with John Cena. Came out as this kind of plain guy, good shape, good physique, all that kind of stuff. They put him into a rap where people started booing him. Then all of a sudden he did his roll so good that all of a sudden now top guy, I would say in the PG era, he took over basically from Stone Cold The Rock and it's gone that way. Well, now you got Rusev doing the same thing. You know, cut his hair, whatever. Got to do what you got to do. He's going with what was it, the Ravishing Rusev or something? Is that what he called himself?
No, that was the Ravishing Russian was Lana, his wife.
Okay.
He's the Bulgarian brute now.
I thought he went by something else. But anyways, Rusev Day is getting over. People like it. People love it. And that's just what it is.
Rusev Day. I mean, who chants for a heel? They don't. And they're chanting for this guy. The fans want so badly for him to not be a heel because they love him. And I think the WWE is, in this match, by putting him into this match so last minute, I think they're finally saying, okay, this is what the WWE Universe wants. We need to give it to him.
Now, if I was going at this with the perspective of taking a multiple choice test, I'm eliminating 2 guys right off the bat. I'm eliminating Bobby Roode. Jinder, I love what he's done with his physique. I'm a Vince guy. I like the physique. I think but I don't know if it's natural and if it isn't.
Chris Steele likes big sweaty men.
All right. Well, he's done a good job. He's done a good job with getting his body in shape compared to a year ago. He's done hard work. They let him have the title. That's good. But I still think when you got Orton, which they seem to always love, and they always give him something, whether it's a Royal Rumble win or whatever it is, a title win, I would be going between Orton and Rusev. But like you, I read the dirt sheets as well. And I read just today that there was rumored that he was getting frustrated with where he was at and wanted to possibly...
I read that too. He wanted his release. That's right.
So now they
posted that on my Facebook page, actually.
It wasn't me, but I saw it on Facebook too. Yep. So now that I hear that, now I'm going with Rusev because it sounds like he's kind of put his way in there. And I think he's going to probably go over on that match. But if I had to limit it to 2 guys, it's Orton and Rusev. But Rusev gets it because I read the dirt sheets like you, Paul.
Yeah, all right. So we both think Rusev Day is going to take this one. All right, IC title. This one I am torn on. The one thing I do know about this...
It's going to be one hell of a match, I know that.
This, I think, also has the opportunity to be a show stealer tonight.
I think so, too.
On WrestleMania night. Because, I mean, look at the match that Rollins and Finn Balor just had on Raw this last week.
Right, yeah.
It was one of the best matches I've seen on Raw in a long time. And then you throw The Miz in there, who, to me, still is one of the best people in the WWE right now. He's got the mic skills. He's not the best in-ring worker, but he can hold his own.
Here's the thing, guys. As a performer, Vince, WWE, whatever it is, sure, you can be a great performer, but if you don't have character and you don't have charisma, you got nothing. They can try to teach you all day. Charisma sometimes can't be taught.
Yep.
In-ring skills, to me, can be taught, to a certain extent, obviously. But The Miz has been, and when I saw him chew out Daniel Bryan that one day, he was making some good points, all right? The guy's always there. Injury-free for the most part, all right? I think he's to me, he's the next Chris Jericho. Mic skill, he plays his role well, whether it's usually heel, and just like Chris Jericho, he does that well. Now, the other part is, I love Seth Rollins. Now, what was he, the 63-minute man on that one match at Raw?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, before he got injured, he was doing a great job with the Authority. And he's a great in-ring performer. He does all these crazy moves to me that I couldn't do. And I like him. Finn Balor, same thing. Great in-ring worker. We don't know. He doesn't talk a whole lot on the mic. But if I have to choose, it's still going to be Finn Balor just because he's so over with everybody. But I really, really want The Miz to win. I got to go with Finn, but I want The Miz because I just like how The Miz portrays his role. He does what he's there to do, and he does a great job of it.
And ironically, you're going to be surprised at this. I'm ignoring all the rumors on this one. And
what are the rumors? Well, what are the rumors?
The rumors are that, but there's so many rumors that fight each other. Because there's rumors that, I'm getting ahead a little bit, but there's rumors that
he's a year down the road from here now.
Yeah,
so.
But no, there's rumors that the big dog is going to take the Universal title, and then Seth Rollins is going to be his next big, the next big feud. But then there's also rumors that he's going to be in a feud with Samoa Joe. after WrestleMania. So that would tell me that. Would it be a champion versus champion? I don't think so. I don't think you'd have an IC title holder feuding with the Universal, because then you're eating up 2 titles in one feud. And I don't think they would do that.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, Miz is so hot right now as the IC champ. But I'm still, like I said, I'm going with my heart on this one. I don't do this very often.
Here's the other thing, Paul.
And my heart is with Finn. My heart's with Finn.
And I think so too. But just think now. Now, Miz just had a baby. Is he going to be taking time off? We don't know. And if so, I may have been sprinkling that in there too, but this is perfect timing. If so, if he's going to take a little time off, now is the time to do it.
Now is the time.
And drop your title. But I really want the Miz to win, but I don't think he's going to. I think it's going to be Finn Balor. He's so over. Too sweet, man. Woo.
All right, so we both have Finn on that one. All right, mixed tag team. I'm putting this lower on the card because I don't want it to be any higher than this. So we got Kurt Angle and the debuting Ronda Rousey versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H.
Here's one thing I can tell you about this match. And people might hate me for saying this, but I don't think Kurt Angle is what he used to be, and rightfully so. He hasn't been in the ring much. Triple H is going to carry this match. We've seen Ronda on TV giving really cheesy clotheslines, and that's fine because she's new at this. It's totally different. She has to watch. She's not trying to knock anybody out in this sport. It's sports entertainment. It is what it is. Yep. It's to entertain you, but it's still athletic. But she can't go out there and just knock someone out. That's not her job.
No.
Her job is to make it look like she knocked someone out without doing that. Okay, so she needs a little work in the ring. Triple H is going to carry this match as a performer's standpoint. Who do I think is going to win? Triple H and Stephanie, because they're going to carry the storyline on. They got to carry the storyline. If Ronda wins, what happens? What happens if Ronda wins? She won. Awesome. No, they got to screw her over to show her, and they're going to rub in her face that she's not the toughest woman anymore.
See, and I'm the exact opposite of you. I don't think that they can bring a star like Ronda Rousey in and have her lose her first match.
Money.
I know that, but I just don't think they can do it.
Paul, if I give you $1 million right now to get knocked out, you'd probably do it, right?
Touche, but I'm standing by what I say.
Okay. Can I knock you out?
For $1 million.
We'll wait till we get more subscribers.
All right. Up next, we have Shane McMahon and the returning Daniel Bryan versus KO Sami Zayn.
This is so simple for me. Daniel Bryan's coming back. He's going to win. It makes sense. Everyone loves Daniel Bryan. He's going to win. It's just not even a question. Owen Zayn is to me, it's kind of fizzling off.
Yep.
Bryan's making his huge return from being injured for 2 years now?
Yeah.
It's got to be Daniel
3
Bryan.
actually. So,
And Shane McMahon's going to go balls to the wall like he always does. He'll do a great job. I mean, he jumped off the damn cage for things.
I'm in the same boat. I say Daniel Bryan all the way with Shane. You can't have him talk about stomping on the WWE Universe by having him lose on his first match back. They're not going to do it. It's going to be Daniel Bryan, Shane, KO, and Zayn are then going to go to Raw. Mark my words. They're going to Raw.
This is where Daniel Bryan says, hey, I'm back, and I'm not going anywhere.
Yep. All right.
We're up to the big ones.
WWE title match. Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles. I already know exactly which direction I'm going with this, but I don't know what you're doing yet.
All right. So I didn't pick Asuka. I didn't pick her. But I do think Shinsuke, how do you say his name?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura is going over in this one easily because to me, he's more over than Asuka right now at this point.
Okay.
So I'm going with Shinsuke because he is so over. Everyone wants him to win, although everybody loves AJ Styles.
Yep.
They love him.
And I'm going to fight with you on this one, too. I think AJ's retaining. I just do. I
hope he does.
I love Shinsuke. I think he's fantastic. He really is the artist. But I just think that AJ hasn't held it long enough. I think they're going to leave it on him. I think this feud is going to continue, though.
Okay.
After this. I think that he's going to win, but there's still going to be something there, and it's going to continue.
Yeah, and the other thing, just one more thing before we get off this match is I want AJ Styles to win. I'm not a big fan of Shinsuke because all he does is kick people. To me, that's just knee to face. Yeah, to me, it's like... Okay, Ryback says it best. This is essentially fake fighting. Now, it does hurt. I will agree with you, but I'm not out there to knock the guy out when I'm performing. This guy looks like he's killing everybody, tatering as we call it. He should be getting a ton of receipts, which is getting knocked back. But AJ Styles is a good performer. I hope he wins, but still think Shinsuke Nakamura is going to go over in that match.
All right. And here's it is. The big dog. Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar. Universal Championship.
Dirt sheet I read. I do read these sometimes, but Paul's in them all the time.
I am. I can't help it.
I think Lesnar actually loses this time because he is getting offers, from what I hear from the UFC, to possibly go back. Now, I don't know if that's true. He may know better than I do about this, but I think he loses and he's got a better deal from UFC to go back there. And then Roman Reigns, that sets up for what you were talking about earlier, which is possibly having him and Rollins have a little feud, which makes sense. They used to be part of the Shield.
Okay.
What do you got?
I'm going against the grain here. I got Brock.
I want Brock to win.
I think that Vince has made a deal with him. They're keeping it under wraps. And I think that actually Brock then, after Mania, is going balls to the wall with Bobby Lashley. Because he's back. I'm telling you, he's coming back.
You said that to me the other day.
I'm telling you, he's coming back. I
got him on
don't know
Instagram.
when.
I haven't seen much.
I don't know when. I don't know if it's going to be at Mania or if it's going to be but I'm telling you, Bobby Lashley's coming back, and that is the next.
I would rather his scenario work out. I'd rather.
That's what I'm banking on. That is it. Maybe a little illogical, maybe. But that's what I got. You mark my words.
I want Brock to win because I'm a huge Brock fan. You mark my words. Although some people say his matches are boring, I don't really care.
I love Brock.
Suplexing as many times as
love Brock Lesnar.
Now we have one bonus match here.
No, there's no other way. There's no other matches. That's it. That's going to be it.
Dong. Wait. John Cena's not in the show?
Dong. Oh, he's a fan, remember? Dong.
Oh, he's just a fan.
What's that dong? Oh, that's right. So, okay. Here's the way we're going to go with this. So, Taker, Cena. Two question answer here. A, is it going to happen? B, if it does, who's winning?
You're damn right it's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen, Paul. What's going to happen is Cena versus The Undertaker, American Badass, because who's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame? What is it? Who is it?
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. Perfect time. He could even play the damn intro for all I care. That'd be really cool. Yeah, it's going to be Undertaker, Cena. I don't know where about it's going to fall in there. I really hope it'd be main event. But how cool would that be to me is if Kid Rock played the American Badass theme, Undertaker comes out on the motorcycle at WrestleMania, because he's going to have plenty of ramp to go with. I mean, God, they got the Great Wall of China for all I care.
All right.
Not happening.
Not happening. Undertaker is going to show up, and it's going to be a build for Mania next year. You see what happens. It'll be Cena Taker, WrestleMania 35.
Well, all right.
That's it. That is WrestleMania. Some things I'm feeling strong about, some things I'm not, but either which way, this is going to be a great Mania. And
I just want to thank Island City Brewery for having us here in Winona, Minnesota for the beer. Cheers. Good time talking to you, Paul.
Bring on WrestleMania.
Bring it on.